Hi guys, so quickly we are going to look at sets. Yes, and I can quickly name this variable using sets to remove duplicates. Alright, duplicates data. And then I'll show you one quick example. So let's say we have const array as a structure of strings 1, 1, and then this is 2. So as you can see here, we have duplicates data 1 and 1, and then we want our result to be like this practically. Right, we want our result to be like this, 1 and 2. Now this happens a lot in when you are storing data, right? Some data might get duplicated due to the way the client uses your or calls your API. But you want to ensure that your structure is stored in a way that in the database that is stored in a way that there are no duplicates. So how do we achieve this using sets? So what we then do is to initialize a set using the set constructor. Initialize the set using the set constructor. So I can call this const new set. Okay, let's say const set is equal to new set, and then I'll pass in the array that has that duplicates data. Okay, how do I get the values I need? So I'll just create an array from that set. So I'll say array.from set. Okay, so as you can see, we have removed effectively the duplicates. This is the primary reasons why we create sets, or why we use sets as is, to help us deal with duplicates data. Okay, if you have watched it up to this point, you can practically pause the video because you already have a foundational understanding of what set is used for. Okay, however, if you want to broaden your knowledge as to why set was created initially, is there another way of doing this formally? Of course there was. So before sets was introduced, if I want to remove duplicate data, what I then need to do is to use an object. So I would say const object, const object is equal to an empty object. I would initialize an empty object there. After initializing the empty object, I would then say, let's look through each of those data in that array. Const data of array, and then assign the key and values of that object to be data. The key and value of that object to be data. Okay, so when I console.log object at the end of the for loop, I then have a structure in this manner where the data has been converted into a struct object, as we will call it in C, or an object itself, but effectively there are no duplicates. So in order to get an array from this, I can call array.from as well, but I can just say object.keys. Object.keys. Yes, so I get the object.keys or object.values, any which of them will give me what I need. Okay, please note that this object is an inbuilt method of the object prototype, and then it has a keys property on it. Okay, alright, and notice also that it's in capital letters. Alright, so there are several things that we can do when we have a set. After we've initialized a set. There are several things that we can do. One of the things we can do is to call all the methods on the set. So if I get that set object and I put a dot there, I'll be able to access all the methods on that object. So I have sets.add, I have sets.size, I have sets.forEach, I have sets dot values basically, right? So I think it's best for us to practice this on our own basically, because you might not really need them unless when you're solving algorithm or structural or data structure problems. Okay, so I'll just basically go through like 3 of these for time's sake. So what do we use sets.add for? Right, so this set.add is used to add a new data to the array. So initially this set has been initialized with this array here, and it has 2 data in it. So if I call sets.size on it, I should get sets.size to be 2. So console.log set.size to be 2. Close that. Okay. Now let's add one more data to it. Should we add? What should we add? Let's add 5. Okay. The set.size now is now 5. It's now 3. How is it 3? That's because we've added one more. We've added one more data to that set. Okay. We've added one more data to that set as it is. So what then do we use this for each for? Okay. So for each is similar to the JavaScript method for each, and it's used to what's called iterate through the set, each data in that set, and just output it into the console or manipulate it whatever way that we want to manipulate it. So for example, I can call a method on the for each practically like an arrow method, and I say this value is the value here is each of those data in this set object, which is 1, 2, and then the 5 that I added. So I can decide to console.log what value is. Yeah, console.log what value is. Okay, it's not showing it to me because I didn't do it well. Let me do it this way. Yeah. So for each iteration, it's going to output what the value of that set is. 1, 2, 5. All right. So there are other methods on the set. There is delete. You can delete data. So I can practically delete. I can say set.delete. What am I deleting? Let me delete 5. Okay. The 5 has effectively been removed. Let me delete 2. 2 has effectively been removed, like very easily. Let's delete 1, and 1 has been effectively removed basically. So I hope this makes sense and then find it useful. All right, thank you very much once again for paying attention. See you in the next material.